I can still picture the exact moment Lyle told me he didn't want me going on the trip. It was a quiet Thursday evening. We were cuddled on the couch, splitting a pizza while half watching a true crime series in the background. My phone kept lighting up with messages from the group chat. The girls were buzzing with excitement, locking in the Miami Airbnb, choosing color-coordinated outfits, and planning beach brunches and wild party nights. I had just laughed out loud at a meme someone dropped when Lyle looked over at me. "So, who all's going?" he asked, casually, too casually. I listed off the names without thinking. Talia, R.A., Alina, Chloe, and Marcus. His head turned slowly toward me. "Marcus? As in your ex, Marcus?" I froze. The atmosphere shifted in an instant. "Yeah," I said, trying to keep my tone light. "He's still close with Talia's boyfriend. They invited him. I didn't even know until earlier today." Lyle carefully set his slice of pizza down and reached for a napkin, wiping his hands even though they were clean. "And you're still planning to go?" he asked. I let out a breath. "Lyle, come on. It's a group trip. There'll be like 10 people there. I haven't spoken to Marcus in ages. He's a non-factor." He didn't answer right away, just stared ahead, his jaw tightening. "I don't like it," he said eventually. "You staying in a house with your ex? That's uncomfortable. It feels off. Disrespectful." I shifted upright, the tension creeping into my shoulders. "So what? You don't trust me?" "It's not about trusting you," he said quietly. "It's the setup I don't trust. Drinking, shared history, old feelings. That's messy. You know it is." I could feel the defensiveness flare inside me. "So what exactly are you saying?" I asked. "That I can't go? I'm saying I'd rather you didn't." And just like that, the ease between us vanished. I wish I could tell you I canceled everything right then. I wish I could say I respected his boundary more than I wanted a 4-day escape. But instead, I found reasons. I built excuses. I told myself I needed this trip. I hadn't gone anywhere with my friends since college. I'd been nothing but faithful to Lyle. One vacation didn't mean betrayal. I convinced myself it was harmless. When I told the girls about Lyle's reaction, Talia immediately rolled her eyes. "It's a girls' trip. You're not going to Miami to hook up with your ex. You're going to drink cocktails, post fire pics, and dance your face off." Chloe added, "He's overreacting. Don't let him manipulate you into staying behind." I clung to every word that eased my guilt, every sentence that painted me as right. The morning I left, Lyle barely said a word. He helped carry my suitcase to the Uber but didn't kiss me goodbye. "Just be careful," he said, voice distant. "I will," I whispered, though it didn't feel sincere. From the back seat, I looked out the window as we pulled away. He stood on the curb, hands shoved deep in his hoodie pockets, his face unreadable. I should have felt torn. I should have felt like I was leaving something behind. But instead, all I felt was relief. Relief from the monotony, from the rules and routines. And for the first 2 days, it was everything I'd hoped for. Mimosas under the sun, a painful sunburn, drunken karaoke nights, and chaotic late-night food runs. I hardly crossed paths with Marcus, until the third night changed that. We were all in the middle of the usual pre-party chaos, 6 people scrambling for a single mirror, loud music blasting, clothes flying, laughter echoing through the halls, perfume thick in the air. I stepped out of the shower with a towel wrapped around me, and there he was, standing in the hallway chatting with one of the guys. He looked different. Better, even. I hated that I noticed it, but I did. His beard had grown in more, and his frame looked broader, more solid. He glanced up. Our eyes met briefly. He smiled, just enough to stir something old and long buried. I gave a quick nod and ducked into the bedroom to get dressed. But that fleeting exchange had unsettled something in me. Something I thought was long gone. That night, after hours of loud music, tequila shots, and dancing ourselves into exhaustion, a few of us peeled off and headed back early. The Airbnb had fallen quiet. I was warm from the alcohol and dizzy from the night. Marcus was out on the balcony, a cigarette glowing between his fingers. Without much thought, I joined him. He passed me what was left of his drink, and we sat in silence, looking down at the passing headlights on the street below. "You look amazing," he said eventually. I laughed, a little embarrassed. "You always say that." "Because it's always true." I rolled my eyes, but I didn't move away. "You and Lyle, are things serious?" he asked. "Yeah. We've been together for over a year." He nodded slowly. "Then he's a lucky guy." I lowered my gaze, trying to steady the rhythm of my heart. "Don't do that," I whispered. "Do what?" "Say things you know you shouldn't. I have a boyfriend." He leaned back into his chair. "I'm not trying to cross a line. I'm just being honest." Then came a pause, tense, heavy, dangerous. He reached for my hand. And I didn't stop him. Just one kiss, that's how I justified it later. One foolish, drunken kiss on a quiet balcony with a ghost from my past. I pulled away quickly, murmured something about needing air, and slipped back inside, heart pounding. The next morning, I couldn't bring myself to look at him. I avoided eye contact with everyone. A heavy, bitter weight had settled in my stomach. I kept telling myself it wasn't cheating. Not really. Not technically. When I got home, Lyle wasn't waiting at the door like he usually was. I found him in the kitchen, arms crossed, his expression cold and unreadable. "How was the trip?" he asked flatly. "It was fun," I answered carefully. "Relaxing." He gave a single nod. "You sleep with him?" I froze. "What?" "Marcus. Did you sleep with him?" "No," I said sharply. "Of course not." He held my gaze for a long time. "Did you kiss him?" My mouth went dry. I didn't answer, and my silence was louder than any confession. Lyle walked out that night. No shouting, no insults, just quiet, unbearable pain that hung in the air long after the door closed. I called the next day, and the day after that. I left voicemails, apologies, explanations, promises to change. He never answered. I tried to convince myself it wasn't such a big deal. That one mistake didn't define everything. But deep down, I knew the truth. It wasn't just about a kiss. It was about the lie I let grow. The trust one chipped away. It was the choice I made to go in the first place, knowing how it made him feel. I chose myself over us. Weeks turned into months. Chloe eventually told me Lyle was seeing someone new. Someone gentle. Safe. The kind of woman who didn't go on wild beach trips with men from her past. And me. I haven't traveled since. Sometimes I still scroll through old pictures, smiling selfies, weekend hikes, lazy Sunday mornings, and wonder how different things might have been if I just stayed. If I had put him first. If I had chosen love over escape.